Hi guys, Puddin here with a game on my Tier 8 US battleship, the North Carolina. As you can see, I'm divvied up. This is technically a Tier 9 game, but it is a Tier 8 heavy game. The captain skills are extra catapult fighter, expert marksman, basics of survivability, advanced fire training, and concealment. Now, as you can see, it's not a full 19-point captain. And my upgrades are main battery mods 1, longer AA, Damcom 1, steering gears mod 1, and concealment. Now, for my US battleships, I usually go with a concealment slash AA build. The US nation bonus is supposed to be anti-air, and that's how I spec out my battleships. Well, you do have the best AA pound for pound, at least on battleships, over everybody else. Now, prior to me moving, as you can see, me and my division, we're in TeamSpeak, and we're kind of debating on where to go. One guy doesn't like going D; he can't stand it, and I'm saying, well, we're the only ones on D side. If everybody goes to A, they're just going to come in behind us. So as much as we hate it, you know, we're going to have to go D side. Now, as you can see at the initial start here, there's only one destroyer on the enemy team, while we have two. There is also aircraft carriers in this game. So we asked the carrier if he could please spot, find, and potentially kill the destroyer. I do believe somebody asked if he could spot D for us, because you can see there's only 3 of us going. It looks like a couple of these guys want to go down the mid. Our carrier is playing very aggressive to fully support A side, so I highly doubt we are going to get any support from him on D side, because he's going to have to deal with what's in front of him to keep those guys alive, in essence, to keep him alive. But as you can see, one of the other cruisers that did look like it was going mid did turn to come our way. So now there are 4 of us. Unfortunately, if the destroyer's on this side, we're kind of in a pickle, because none of us can outspot the DD. I do believe that was the enemy Bismarck who got spotted, quickly followed up by the enemy Turbines. There's the Tier 7 Japanese cruiser on the side. So right now, what we know of is, with everything that has been spotted, it's going to be a 4v4 right now. There's a Pensacola in the background. Not too worried about him, because he is a Pensacola. For the most part, he should play that at range behind supporting his battleships. As you can see, the division mates, secondaries are going to town this cruiser, trying to get rid of this cruiser because he does have 10-kilometer torpedoes. And, well, we just need to get rid of him, because the Japanese, they do have great HE, and they do love to set fires. My shells come in as I get first blood, and oh crap, there's deflection. It is the last thing we wanted to see on this side. As we see, torpedoes are in the water. This guy's gonna beach, gonna ignore the torpedo warning to potentially take out this destroyer. He did run aground. He is kind of bowing, which means he would take most of my I would get nice penetrating damage on him, as the shell would have to travel through him. I do believe Seabeard took a torpedo. Not 100% sure, I don't recall. But he's not long from his life with a Bismarck and torpedoes in the area. I want to get rid of the... I want to get rid of the Pensacola. I want to get rid of any supporting craft for these two gentlemen before we have to deal with them. But in the midst of all that confusion, we actually managed to cap D. We have A, we have B, we have D. We have 3 caps to the enemy's 1, which means we get to play a little bit more defensively or passively, if you want to call it that, than the enemy, whereas the enemy has to play more aggressive because they need to get the caps, because we could just sit here and quickly outpoint them to the point to where they cannot win. Which means, you know, the battleships are going to have to take chances. They're going to have to push, whether they like to or not. Gonna take a crack at the Bismarck as I get a nice 6,000 damage to him. But as you can see, all I'm doing is just reversing out of it. I don't need to push. I know there's a DD in the area. I don't know why he's not shooting me from the smoke cloud, but he's not, thankfully. But I have 2 German battleships in front of me, both with secondary builds. I'm gonna shoot the Turpets over the Bismarck because the Turpet was showing me more side, but as they both come bow in, and then I hear a torpedo warning, so I immediately look at where the smoke cloud was before I turn around and see that our friendly DD has come into the area to offer assistance. Now, with what's going on at A, I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why we're losing A. One, the destroyer support that they did have left them, which maybe he should have stayed over there, you know, but hindsight is always 20. This Fletcher is getting detected at some un-Fletcher-esque like range, i.e. I don't believe this guy is a full captain in there. It didn't look like he had paint, and I don't know if he has concealment on his upgrades. But either way, the Fletcher can always outspot us. Over me outspotting him, I'd have to get more or less lucky, which is why I did turn the guns to shoot at the Fletcher, to get rid of this guy, to make it easier for us to potentially push these guys around as soon as I get rid of the Bismarck. Now, the reason I shot at the Bismarck, he's low health. I was trying to put him up into the superstructure, because you can do some nice damage even to bowing, especially at this range. It's not extremely hard. Fortunately, I failed. Was going to take another crack at the Bismarck, showing me side. The vision mate says, don't worry about him, I got him. So I might as well take a crack at the Turpets. It's like a lovely, what was it, 10,000 salvo. Here comes planes in. On top of the Turpets is secondaries. Just going to keep reversing, stay bow into this guy, because I don't want to get within his torpedo range. Now, it would have been really nice if the destroyer gave me some sort of smoke to take some of the pressure of being shot at, you know, off of me, recover some of my health, use this damn com on one fire so I could, you know, save some of my hit points. But sadly, it doesn't. The Turpets is now extremely low. Don't hit him. But my division mate finishes off. So we have managed to successfully defend D as the Pensacola now shows up, finishes off my division mate. The Pensacola possibly could have made a bigger impact on his game performance and on this match, instead of just coming in and finishing off poor Silver, who was extremely low, instead of just sitting in the back, taking the long way to turn around to come be engaged in this fight. Now, if you noticed, A side has completely fallen apart. I don't understand why or how they fell apart so badly. They still had a destroyer over there, full aircraft support, and we have a Pensacola who just got obliterated because backing up in front of a battleship. Thought it was a good idea. It never is. And you shouldn't do it unless you, of course, run aground. And I don't know how that guy could have run aground because he was reversed quite far away from anything. Could easily start motoring forward, start turning away from me. But instead, he decided to get double citadeled and give me a devastating strike. Now, it's decision time. And as you can see, I've already made up my mind. I'm going to turn around and defend B. Well, we had three ships over there. They quickly died. I'm going to run aground. And notice that, luckily for me, the destroyer shot. It was another factor why I wanted to turn around, because I didn't know where he went. The last we knew, he was to the south of us. We're just going to let our DD go deal with him. But luckily for me, I don't run aground. I corrected my mistake before anything bad happened. But unfortunately, I'm looking at the wrong spot. I thought the destroyer was going to come out the other way. He comes out the bottom before I can realize my error. Can't turn my guns in time. This gentleman pops his smoke cloud. Now, why our destroyer did not try to potentially torp him, force him out of the smoke by torping it, even though the planes are there, I will not. No, I never did. Ask him, and neither did any of my division mates. But considering I now know where the Fletcher is, I want to put distance between him and me, because a shooting, which means torpedoes are on the way. Hopefully he dropped torpedoes when he thought I was going to beach myself when I corrected, and did not. Now I want to take a shot on this Fiji because, well, he's a British cruiser. I need to get rid of him because I'm afraid of his torpedoes. I have a friendly Bismarck in the area, so pushing around a North Cal in Alabama shouldn't be that hard, considering I have more health than the North Cal. If this gentleman's going to continue to stay broadside to me, I should make very quick work of him. Now, I noticed that my rear guns fire, which means I'm showing to one side, but as I turned in, this gentleman turns in as I pull off a nice 9,000 salvo against him. Looks like this gentleman is healing up, which now means I have more health I have to get rid of on him, but I want to get rid of the cruiser because 1, smoke cloud, 2, torpedoes, and as I lose one of my main guns. Aimed a little too far back. I didn't give enough lead on the cruiser. He's starting to turn away, but I'm going to have to start focusing on the North Cal because he's starting to make up some distance. Don't want him knocking out my gun again. Get my heel up. Look at the cruiser. Realize that I need to deal with the North Cal, aiming to knock out at least one of his guns, and then I noticed, well, he's still turning. If this gentleman is going to continue his turn, I'm going to wait until he presents a better broadside than obviously not. Notice he had stopped his turn, took a shot, hoping that they would go underneath and potentially get a citadel, but he's still showing me nothing. Enough of an angle to where I won't pin him, but luckily the Bismarck finishes him off for me. See Hipper reversing broadside to a battleship. This guy at least realizes his mistakes, stops the reverse, starts going forward. When I noticed that he was going to start going forward, so I aimed for pretty much the middle of the ship. Knew I could get enough damage just by hitting the superstructure. So I really wasn't trying to citadel him, I was just trying to guarantee damage to guarantee the kill. Now I do believe the Bismarck took out the British cruiser. If he did not, well, spoilers, the Bismarck's going to finish off the Fiji. I see the Alabama coming in, and at this point I start thinking, you know what, maybe I should just go for the ram. You know, I don't see us coming back. You know, if you can clearly see by the points, the situation's turned into a kill because we're just not going to get the caps. We're going to have to kill them all, or we're going to have to kill all of the caps. We don't have time to get all of the caps. But I noticed the Colorado was presenting me a better target than the NC. So I took my shots in on the Colorado as it was going to come in and ram the Alabama. But when all that was going on is when the Bismarck finished off the British cruiser, which made me decide not to go for the ram. There's the carrier, there's the Colorado. The Alabama is going to be showing me broadside with all of my guns are loaded, so I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to take a shot, get a nice 13,000 damage. Fortunately, don't get the Citadel. Waiting for rear guns. As soon as they're green, I'm going to shoot. Rear gun shot, get him, killed him off while I got hit with some lag. And I do believe the Alabama finishes off Bismarck. Not 100% sure. I don't recall. I'm sure somebody will correct it if it's that big of an issue. But I'm going to take my shots in on North Carolina. Do a nice 19,000 damage to it as I get Confederate. Start turning my ship. I know I'm showing this guy way too much side, but I need to get these this guy dead. Needed to get my rear guns into play as I get a Kraken unleashed. Unfortunately, here comes dive bombers, 2 full squads. I'm not going to survive these. My repairs on cooldown. The first set's going to come in, take a large chunk out of me as I get hit with lag. The second set's going to come in and finish me off. So now we're going to look at the post-battle results as soon as I die. 153,000 damage. Confederate First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, Devastating Strike, and with the 5 ships I sent to the bottom of the sea, base experience of 1900. I did better than everybody in this game. I made some money. Don't play this ship for money. I play it because I do enjoy it. All of my damage coming from my primary, so all 153,000 damage from my primary guns. I hope you guys really did enjoy this replay, because, you know, this shows that while you sometimes have to carry hard, it's still a team-based game, and your team needs to at least be able to pull their own weight at times. We do love your replays that you guys do send in. Please keep them coming. The email is in the description down below. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team players. We're quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I hope you all have a great day.